Hey people of YouTube land, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry for the way my hair looks right now, but it air dried and I haven't had a chance to do anything with it. I'm not gonna go make myself up just to make myself a video for YouTube. So this is my update. I've been trying to make this video for, I don't know, like a week, and I keep messing up and figured this is my best opportunity to do it. So pardon the dark circles, pardon everything, because I'm exhausted. I'm nearing my third day off, which means I go back to work after tomorrow, but I'm going on the nights, so it is what it is. I don't know if I've given you guys an update, but a week ago, I made it to Wonderland, so I'm super happy about that. I'm down to 197.8. The bad thing is I gained a lot of water weight this last week from sitting at work. So I've just been kind of trying to get that extra water weight off. I haven't been drinking as much as I should. And Halloween was here 2 days ago, so unfortunately I gave up and gave in and had a few cookies, and I let myself have one of those little single serving, like the little square packs of the peanut M&Ms, but I didn't have anything else. I did have some chicken wings, boneless chicken wings. I think I let myself have them for dinner. The night, was it Monday night? It's Thursday now, so Thursday. So Monday I had like 4 wings for dinner, and then I had 4 or 5 for breakfast the next day, and I think I had some for lunch, but I haven't had any since then. Other than that, I've just been eating, the normal way I've been eating. I ran across Emily Ann's channel on YouTube the other day. I don't know if I saw it on Pinterest, if somebody pinned it, or if I was just looking through YouTube and it was a suggested channel, but I started watching her and she's amazing. She does gorgeous makeup on herself, which is what caught my attention. She's a beautiful redhead. And she's lost a bunch of weight. So I'm super proud of her. Of course, I'm super proud of anybody who's gone through gastric sleeve or gastric bypass, or even if you haven't and you've lost a ton of weight, that's awesome. It's not easy to do, and even having had gastric sleeve, it's been super hard. I'm sorry I'm breaking out, but it's getting close to that time of the month. So, but that's another thing. Like, I have a normal cycle now, which I haven't had since at least 2008. If that. I don't even think I think it's been longer than that. So, yeah, everything's getting so much better. Basically what I was getting at, though, is on Emily's channel, she kind of gave like a what I eat in a day type video, and I followed it pretty closely. She does a lot of the intermittent fasting, or she wasn't at the time, I guess, but she does like a half a cheese stick, and then she'll have protein coffee, and then she'll eat the rest of her cheese stick, and then she'll have like a protein bar if she can't make it to lunch, and then she'll have a healthy lunch that she measures. She'll have another snack, like a small snack, and then she'll have dinner, and of course drink water throughout the day. I have, and I don't think, yeah, it's right here, hold on. That big cup right there. I got it from Valero. It's 52 ounces. I fill it up with water every day at work, water and ice, and I make myself drink that. So I kind of modeled the way that I eat around the way that she eats, because I wanted to give it a shot. I wanted to see if it would help me get under 200, and it did, within just a couple of days. So I got up. Let me see if I can go in the kitchen without making this video too wobbly. This is our new house, so it's kind of messy, but for the most part we're unpacked. So let me see if it's in here. This is like my go-to snack. It's the Land O'Lakes mild cheddar. It is amazing, and I think, hold on, let me look at the back. One serving has 110 calories. 1 gram of carbs, 6 grams of protein. So, bear with me one second. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, I had to take a quick break. So I'll get up in the morning, I'll have one of those pieces of cheese. I'll make myself, I guess it's probably like 20 ounces of regular coffee. I know they say you're not supposed to really have the, like caffeinated coffee, but I work 12-hour shifts and I don't get enough sleep normally when I'm working during the week, so I'll let myself have that every day. And other people do it, so it's whatever. It's what works for you and what your doctor says you should or shouldn't do. But I do it. I'll have 20 ounces of the coffee. I'll get the Premier protein shakes. I've tried the regular stuff in coffee, like the powdered protein shakes, and they don't, it's too thick. It takes me hours to drink it, and I don't have hours because I need to be drinking water. Even though the protein shakes count as your fluid intake, you still need to be drinking half of your weight in water every day. So I'll do the protein coffee, and because it's the holiday season, I went and bought the sugar-free International Delight pumpkin spice. And so I got that, and it's, hold on, let me see. I don't think it's going to focus, but it's 20, for 1 tablespoon, it's 20 calories, 1 gram of carb. Of course, there's no sugar, and there's no protein in it, but it's really good. So it gives you kind of a feeling like you're getting something from Starbucks or a fancy coffee place, which, you know, whenever you're depriving yourself, you don't want to feel like you're depriving yourself, and I don't feel that way when I do this. So it's my little treat. Sorry, my hair's still a little thin. It's starting to grow back finally. I don't know if it's the vitamins. I changed from the patches, which I really loved, to these aren't like the best, but they're the organic multivitamin, the real fruit gummies. It's got 3 grams of carb per serving. Sorry, 4 grams of carb per serving, and it's 2 gummies, but it seems to be doing the trick. And then I have this probiotic. It's probably not the best probiotic, but it's better than nothing. Since we've moved, we're kind of broke. And then I take biotin. This is the 10,000 mcgs, and then in addition to that, this has an additional 3,000 mcgs of biotin in it. Sorry, 5,000, I misread that. It's just the extra strength hair, skin, and nails. So I know that the majority of the vitamins that you take, especially being a bariatric patient, don't get absorbed. So that's why I bought that, is just to help. And my nails have been growing like crazy. I know they're not long right now, but I had broken them when we were moving offices with my job. So they've grown back in like a week, and that's really good for me. Another thing that I'm using is this stuff. It's the Pure Protein vanilla cream. It's got 2 grams of sugar, but it's not regular sugar. It's the sucralose, 25 grams of protein. So it's pretty close to what you get. It's the same calories, but it's pretty close to what you get with the Premier protein shakes. Just so I can have something different in case I run out of the Premier protein. My husband, boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, just got a new job, so he won't start that until the 27th. So we're kind of, money's tight, and I want to make sure that I have as much protein as possible. I mean, we've got plenty of food in the house, but you know, if you're a bariatric patient, that you have to focus on protein, and everything that I eat or I put in my mouth, I try to make sure that it has a good amount of protein in it. At least, if it's going to have some carbs in it, it's got to at least have double that in protein. So like, for example, the cheese has 1 gram of carb, but 6 grams of protein. And, you know, it's just got to be worth it if I'm going to have carbs, because I do ketogenic for the most part. I found some really good recipes. Tonight I tried a salmon recipe that it was, it's on Pinterest. It's like a garlic Italian garlic salmon something, but it's basically salmon. You do salt, pepper, and olive oil, of course, in a skillet. You cook you basically are searing the fish on the flesh side first until it's cooked through. Flip it over to the scales, the skin side, and let that sear for another 5 minutes. Not 10 minutes, sorry, 5 minutes. So total cook time of 10 minutes there. Then you're gonna take the canned, like the jar of the sun-dried tomatoes. You need that. You need an onion. Like it's called for a sweet yellow onion, but I just use white. White seems to taste better to me, so I used that. You need 6 garlic cloves. I just used the minced garlic that you can get at the store in the jar. And then I used a giant handful of baby spinach. Excuse me. A giant handful of baby spinach, even though I probably could have gotten away with a little less. I just knew the way that I eat, the way that I get full, that it was going to be the only vegetable that I was going to be able to consume with my meal. So, and I figured the spinach has more protein than a lot of other veggies. What else? And of course, it's got heavy cream. Making sure I'm not forgetting anything else. I don't think it's got anything else in it. So, oh, Parmesan. So I went ahead and I sauteed took the fish out, put it in the oven so it would stay warm. And then I took 2 tablespoons of butter and melted that down and threw in the onion and the garlic. I did the garlic first, let it cook for about 30 seconds to a minute. Threw the onion in, let that kind of get a little bit clear. By that time the skillet was really hot, so it didn't take long to cook. Threw in the heavy cream, and I used a 1/3 cup of the dry white wine, the cooking wine, and then let that kind of thicken up a little bit. Then I added the heavy cream, let that thicken a little more, threw in the Parmesan, gave that a minute to kind of get a little thick but not too much, and then I tossed in the baby spinach and the tomatoes, and let those kind of sit together for a little bit and let the spinach wilt. Then I threw the salmon in there and just covered it in the sauce. It was amazing. I'm not a big fish person, and especially since surgery, it just doesn't taste right. This was really good. I would eat this again in a heartbeat. So there's a couple recipes I'm trying this week. If I find anything that works, I will definitely make a video of myself making it, or at least do it before and after. Another thing I found that really works is if you follow the ketogenic lifestyle, pork rinds are in everything. These things are a godsend, especially if you need to make a recipe that calls for breading. Those are, I mean, they're the bomb.com. This has no carbs in it, 7 grams of protein, and this is for a 1/2 ounce. So usually most recipes that I use call for an ounce, between an ounce to 4 or 5 ounces, which honestly, even though that's a lot of fat, it doesn't take much. I can make nachos with those. You just take about, I think it's an ounce of the pork rinds. You grind them up. I use my Ninja into like a powder. I've used the Mexican crumbling cheese, which has more carbs, so I don't use that all the time. Most of the time I just use sharp cheddar because there's a gram of carb per 1/4 cup, I think. So I do 1 part of the pork rinds to 3 parts of the cheese, and I grind all that up together. Cut the oven on to 500 degrees, or I've even done it in the microwave. They're not bad in the microwave either. It's just fine. So 500 degrees, you're gonna push it really close together on a cookie sheet or in a glass baking dish. You're gonna let the edges get brown. You're gonna take it out and let it cool. You're gonna decrease the temperature to 400, maybe 425 at the most. Let them cool, cut them up. They're gonna be a little crumbly, that's okay. You don't necessarily want to pick them up, but I used a pizza cutter earlier the other day and just kind of wiggled it a little bit so they got a little bit of separation. If you can flip them, that's great. You want to keep an eye on them when you put them back in the oven though, because they cook really fast. If you can push them around and reposition them so that the center chips are on the outside and the outside chips are on the inside, that's just to make sure that the inner chips are getting the same cook, I guess the same evenness of cooking as the outside chips, because the outside ones will burn if you don't watch them. Another thing, once those cool, you can put taco meat on top of it and veggies. I've even used it as kind of like, you know those crispy bits of cornbread when you're eating chili on a cold winter's day? Well, we're starting to hit winter here in Texas, which is like 60 degrees for Texas, so, or at least it is for Houston, Texas. We got down in the 40s, and so I was really in the mood for chili. So I made a low-carb chili, and I made those pork rind nacho chips, just so I'd have some crunch with it, because I'm used to having bread with my chili, or at least cornbread, and this was as close to the cornbread that I could get, and it kind of made me think of like the hard, crunchy bits of the cornbread, which to me is the best part. So yeah, you can use that for like a million different things. You can use it for breading. There's a list could go on, so we'll get into that later. This is something I just discovered last week. I've been hearing about it for a while. A coworker of mine raves about it, and he tells all of the employees about it whenever they complain about being tired or needing coffee or whatever. And I tried it for the first time. A friend of mine at work, a coworker, had strawberry flavor. This is, it's the Essential Amino Energy. This one's a naturally flavored. They have a different kind. I don't know what it's flavored with. But 2 scoops is a serving. There's 1 gram of carb per 2 scoops, which to me is pretty damn good. It doesn't say that there's sugar in it. It does have, it says citric acid, malic acid, natural flavor, silicone dioxide, calcium silicate, fruit and vegetable juice for coloring, tartaric acid, stevia leaf extract, which means there's no other than the fruit sugars that might be in there, there's not really any added sugar. Xanthan gum, caffeine, it says from tea leaf and or coffee bean, and the soy lectin. So even though we're supposed to kind of focus on whey protein, there's no protein in this, but it works. Like, it really works. Today at the gym, my boyfriend and I, we got some of this on the way there, and I threw it into 16 ounces of water. Not even 16 ounces. No, it was 16 ounces. And I put in a packet of my favorite drink, this wild strawberry Crystal Light. I mean, there's no carbs, no protein, no nothing in it, and it uses no added sugar. So anyway, but I added that to it just because I wasn't sure if I would like this, and it's not bad by itself, but the strawberry makes it taste even better. And it didn't hurt it or hinder it at all, so it's no harm, no foul. But I had I didn't feel tired at the gym. I've actually felt really good all day. I took a nap just because I knew I was gonna have to stay up later, since I'm going to night shift on my new shift this week. So yeah, it's been working really good. So I'll do the cheese in the morning. I'll have the protein coffee. I'll do another slice of cheese, or I'll do some nuts or something like almonds and cashews. Cashews are my favorite, even though they're not as healthy as almonds. And then I'll do lunch after I make myself drink most or all of 52 ounces of water from the cup I showed you guys. Then I'll either finish the water after I wait the 30 minutes, or if it's already gone, I'll wait 30 minutes, start my second 52 ounces, and I'll try to make it through half of that before I have another snack. And by snack, I mean I've measured it out before I eat it. It's got to be the 1 ounce of the cheese, or I'll do, let's see, I have these little portion control snack bags. They're not bad, and you can kind of see, or you just measure it out with a measuring cup. It's not that hard. But I get these, the roasted and salted cashews, and then I get the natural almonds. I'm sorry if there's bad things back there, but I usually keep tuna, sugar-free Jell-O. Most of the stuff we have in here is bariatric friendly, but you know, it's very seldom that I will have anything that I'm not supposed to have. And if I do, it's just once. It's not throughout the week. I know that is something that has been really difficult for me if I feel stressed at all, especially where we were at before with work. It was very easy for me to go to the snack cabinet and grab, sorry, I don't know why that's red. There's not a pimple there. Anyway, but it was very easy for me to go to the snack cabinet that they had and just grab a granola bar or whatever, because they didn't have any kind of snacks that were bariatric friendly. They did on occasion have beef jerky, which was great, but everybody ate the beef jerky. No one thought, well, Jamie can't have this other stuff. Most people are selfish like that, so it is what it is. But then I'll come home, and when I work nights, I just come home and go to bed. I don't eat anything. I might have another piece of cheese, but I don't really have anything when I get home working nights. But when I come home working days, I've been trying to eat with my family, just because my daughter is home. I don't know if I told you guys, but she went to live with my sister for like a couple of months. It was really difficult having her away. I've never been away from her for more than a month, and that was only when she was visiting my dad. But she relapsed with her depression, and she hurt herself pretty badly. So I decided to try letting her go live with my sister for a little bit. So we were going to let her stay there for like a year, let her go to school there. And she started kind of expressing that she wanted to come home, which of course, she's my baby. I know that she's got stuff she's got to work through, but I'd rather her work it through with me than away from me. So I kind of feel like we're complete again, but we still have some stuff we have to work through. So I try to do as much family stuff as possible. I still have school full time. I still have responsibilities, but she's my number one focus always. But yeah, that's pretty much what I eat. I mean, and I'm not limiting myself. If I find a recipe that we like, I'm going to try to make it as keto friendly as possible. I've already got my Thanksgiving dinner planned. I'm making a ton of food, probably more than what we need. But his family's not going to be here, and I don't really have any family except my sister, and I don't even know that she's going to eat with us this year. I don't know what our plans are yet. I know that I'm off, thank God, but I went on Pinterest and found a lot of low carb alternatives. I found I was gonna do the cauliflower stuffing, but I found a recipe that uses the pork rinds. So there's that, and then I've got I'm obviously gonna do turkey. I'm not a big ham person. I'll eat ham, but it's just not my thing. So I figured we could do a small turkey, do the stuffing, and then do the green bean casserole, and then some kind of like mashed cauliflower and gravy. So I think that's a good option, and I think that's plenty of food for us, really. I don't think we need more than that. So that's pretty low carb. I don't think that's going to be a very high carb count, and that's something that we can continuously eat. So it's, we can still have those leftovers and things like that. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I got down to the 197s, and then last week, I didn't deviate from my diet at all, but I went from the 197 to like 202, and so I would come home and eat dinner at night, and I'd shoot up to 204. So I'm still trying to work that water weight off. Went back to the gym today. Today was the first experience I've ever had working out with my boyfriend, and it was great. We don't sit there and talk to each other while we're working out, but it was nice having him there for moral support. He really helped me out using some of the equipment. And so I think that that's something that we can kind of bond over. One of the concerns a lot of people, or that I see a lot of people put on Facebook, and not really even concerns, but issues that they run into, is that their marriages or their relationships fall apart after the surgery. And I haven't really had that issue. We've been really blessed I feel like it's made us more connected than anything. And yeah, he gets frustrated because I can't eat what he eats, but I haven't really limited myself. I try to obviously make healthy choices, but I don't limit myself because I don't want him to feel like I'm separating myself from our family unit. I'm trying to stay as close to my dad as possible and still be able to enjoy life with him and my daughter. So that's really important to me. I've got so many friends whose relationships have failed, and I don't want to be one of those I don't want to be part of that percentage of people that loses their relationship over the surgery. I'd rather be like I was again, and I hate to say that, but I'd rather be like I was again than to lose what I have with him. He's really good to me, but I know that he won't force me to make that choice, and that's what makes him super important. And if you don't have someone like that in your life, if your significant other makes you feel guilty for anything regarding your weight loss and your health, if that is not their primary focus, is you being healthy and happy, then you don't need to be with them. I'm not a relationship expert, but I'm 34 years old, and I've been through one marriage. I've lost a husband, and I've had that husband mistreat me, and then I had him pass away, and I've had to deal with the feelings that come from that and the loss, and I've got someone who understands that and supports me. And even though I'm still sad, I can express that sadness to him and not have him judge me, because he's been through a bad marriage too. And, you know, he knows that he can come to me with those things as well. So having someone that you can communicate with is so, so important. Even if it's not a significant other, having a friend that you can talk to is also just as important. Making a support system. If you don't have one and you need one, reach out to me. I'll be your support system. I can't imagine going through this alone. There are days where I wish that I could, because it makes it easier for me. I don't have to make those tough decisions. But, you know, I'm glad that I'm not. I'm glad that I have him, and I'm glad that I have my daughter. And I'm glad that I have my sister, because she's going through it too. I've got several friends that I've made through this experience that I would not have otherwise made. I've made friends with people that I've been watching on YouTube for years, because we've connected through one of our Facebook groups, and come to find out that that's who I'd been watching all along. And so they're huge inspirations to me. April Herpel, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing her last name right. She's been someone that I've watched for a long time, and now I've gotten really into watching Emily Ann's videos. So there's so many different people out there that can help you. I know that Laura Low Carb, I think that's her name, or Laura's VSG Tube, that's her YouTube. I'm almost out of time, guys, but Laura, I want to shout out to her. She had her mini gastric bypass revision surgery not the other day, but like 10 days ago, and she's gone through the ringer. Her surgeon didn't do right by her. She used Dr. Ramos Kelly in Tijuana, and even though she used him for her weight loss surgery initially and she had great results, she went back because she was not happy, which is important to do, things that you feel you need to do. So I 100% support her. And it's not to say I don't know the situation. I wasn't there, but I know her from watching her on YouTube, and she seems like someone who's level-headed and follows directions. And the fact that she's having to go through what she's going through and having her doctor kind of refute what she's saying instead of supporting her and saying that there was a mistake made, and that she almost died, that's not being done. It's being covered up. So, sweetheart, my heart goes out to you. I'm still praying for you. That is going to continue as long as you need it. So if you need anything, reach out. But yeah, I mean, don't let yourself not have the support that you need through your journey. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I want people to see that, you know, you can make your own support system. You don't have to continue with things the way that they are, and you don't have to just sit there and be alone in all of this. So if anybody out there needs anything, let me know. I'll give you guys an update video as soon as possible. Sorry, it's been a while and I'm out of time. So you guys have a good night. Bye.